Hello, first graders. We are going to get started today, and we are learning about author's purpose. So we need to know what author's purpose is. So let's go over here. Okay, I have my handy dandy chart. An author's purpose is easy as pie. Say that with me. Easy as pie. Let's spell pie. P-I-E. And the reason we say it's easy as pie is because the three things that an author writes for start with P, I, and E. So our first one, and I'm going to change my marker color. Our first word for author's purpose is persuade. Persuade. Repeat after me. P is for persuade. Great job. Okay, P is for persuade. What does persuade mean, Miss Nungesser? That's a big word, and it sounds kind of silly. Yeah, me too. So, persuade means to convince you to do something or think something. So, persuade is convincing people. So the author wants to convince you to do something. Maybe they want to convince you to eat all your vegetables. That's some asparagus, some broccoli, which look just like trees. We have asparagus, we have broccoli, maybe some green beans. And the author is trying to convince you to eat all of your vegetables. Or the author could convince you that they want you to recycle. Have you ever seen the arrow with the triangle on something? That means it's recyclable. So when we're persuading someone, we're convincing them to do something. So that's P for the pie. Now we get to I. I is for inform. Everyone repeat after me. I is for inform. Oh, a little louder. I is for inform. There we go. I is for inform. So, what is inform? What word does that sound like? Think about the word inform. Inform. Information. That's right. Information. Information is things that the author wants to teach you. So, information and inform is teaching you something. A lot of informational books are how to do something. So, maybe it's how to cook. Maybe it's how to ride a bike. Right? So inform is to teach you something. So how to cook, how to ride bikes, and finally, we have the E. What does the E stand for? Well, the E is for entertain. Everyone repeat after me. E is for entertain. Great job. E is for entertain. What does entertain mean? Have you ever heard that word before? Yeah, entertain is to keep you enjoying something, right? It's to make you feel emotions. It's to keep you to be happy. So when an author writes to entertain, they are trying to have you enjoy the book. So we're going to put enjoy. So we have entertain to enjoy. You might enjoy being scared. Some people really like when things jump out. Let's see, I'm going to put a scared emoji. Some people really enjoy books that make you feel loved. Like I like reading books that make me think of my mom or my puppy dogs. They make me feel so happy. So I like to read about things that I enjoy, things that I love, like my puppy dogs. Maybe you want to read something that's going to make you happy. So our entertain makes us feel things and keeps us interested, right? So these are the different forms of author's purpose. Now, I want you to think about author's purpose and what we know about fantasy. Remember, fantasy is make-believe stories that usually have a happy ending, right? Fantasy. Which one of these would fit for fantasy? Does fantasy persuade you to do something? Does it convince you to do something? Does it inform you of something? Does fantasy teach you something? Or does fantasy entertain you? It makes you happy. Write down in your journal if you think it's persuade, inform, or entertain. All you have to write is P if you think it's persuade, I if you think it's inform, or E if you think fantasy entertains. Go ahead and do that in your notebook. All right, let's talk about our story that we just read. We just read The Pigeon Has to Go to School. Now, we read that the pigeon has to go to school. Is this story telling us to do something? Is it telling the reader that we want to convince them of something? Are we being convinced to do anything in this story? No, they're not trying to get us to do anything. Is the author trying to teach us something, like how to do something? Is it giving us information about something? No, it's not giving us any information about something. So that leaves the E. What is E for? Entertain. It makes us be entertained. It makes us laugh, right? This is a silly book. If this story makes you laugh and you think that it's silly, write in your journal. Just write on one of the lines, just right where you have your P, your I, or your E right here, right next to it, draw a smiley face if you think that this book makes us laugh. No, I thought it made us laugh. If this book is silly, go ahead and draw a smiley face. I will draw one on the board for you because I know sometimes smiley faces can be hard. So I start with what I know for a smiley face. I always start with the circle. And then for eyes, you can do dots or lines. I like to do dots. And then we draw our smile, which looks like a stretched out U. So if this story made you smile, go ahead and do that. All right, let's go back over our do. So we talked about what author's purpose was. And we have, did we make a prediction about the book? Yeah, we did that. Did we read The Pigeon Has to Go to School and Answer Questions? We did that. So we're going to go on and identify our character and determine the author's purpose. So that's going to be in the next video. But for right now, go ahead back and check. Did you write down that fantasy is to entertain? Did you put your E? And did you do a smiley face to make sure that you know that fantasy is this book, The Pigeon Has to Go to School, is making us happy?